Hi, welcome everybody. Thanks for being here with us today. I have my friend Lindsay, and we're going to talk about all things hiring. We have been doing a lot of work around this, preparing businesses to scale, and I just want to share some insights from someone who knows what they're doing. If you haven't met me yet, I'm Carla Titus, founder and owner of Wealth and Worth Within. We're a fractional CFO firm that provides financial consulting and advisory services to clients that are growing and in need of some direction, financial planning. Lindsay, do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah. Hi. Thanks, Carla, for having me. So, I am a leadership coach and a people operations expert, and I work a lot with female founders, helping them really embrace their own authentic leadership style and show up as a really great leader in their life and in their business. And then I also support those incredible women in creating really exceptional workplace cultures, people, process, and programs that support performance, because when our team is happy, our clients are happy. And when our clients are happy, they bring us more money.
Yes, we love all things money. So anything we can do to help support people and meet them where they're at and really embrace that, need for our expertise in their business, the better impact we can make in their day to day. So let's just kind of kick it off with a few questions. I'm just curious to know from your perspective. We talk a lot around here about when is the right time to hire, but I want to hear from your perspective. How do you help leaders prepare and as they're scaling and planning out their business, how do you help them understand when is the right time to hire?
Yeah, it's actually one of the things that I love to do the most is, to really help a client create what I call a people strategy. So, really leveraging that business plan that you have and really understanding how you can marry that with a strategy for the talent that you're going to need.
Mhm.
So, ultimately, the best time to hire is before you actually need to hire. But for so many of us, that's difficult. We have to manage budgets and cash flows at the same time that we, are trying to grow the work that we do and the number of clients we deal with. And if we plan that really effectively, if we really understand when is the right moment and how we can hire effectively. So I don't just mean hiring a full-time employee. I mean, certainly there's a variety of ways we can engage with talented people. So, is that potentially someone that's part time to start with?
Mhm.
Right.
Mhm.
So that we can leverage the time that they have for us and we can grow that time over a period of months. Is it a consultant or a contractor? So that we don't have that sort of obligation. If we have, client work that's ebbing and flowing, we can engage with them through that ebb and flow. But the best thing to do is really think strategically about your business and then also at the same time think strategically about what person, what skills, what competencies, and also what fit you're going to need in the right people to get all of
Mhm.
that work done.
Yeah, and I love the parallels you're drawing there because all of this is about being proactive, planning ahead, and having a strategy before you go, execute on it and make decisions that then you later regret because you didn't know you couldn't afford it, or the employee wasn't a good match, or the talent that you're sourcing for is the wrong role or expectation for what you need in the business for growing. And when you talked about contractors versus like employee commitment, that is huge. We work with clients a lot on understanding what is really the need. Do you need to have that type of, engaged employee where you have control over the work, or can you do a contractor that can ebb and flow with the ups and downs of business to help you alleviate some of the budget constraints or concerns that you might have, especially during an uncertain economy or, when the market is not great, and being able to move up and down as the needs come up versus being fully committed and then not seeing the revenue come in to cover those costs.
Exactly, exactly. And when you engage with someone, even if they are a part-time employee and you pay them hourly, then you have a commitment to them. They have a commitment to you, which is
Hmm.
also important.
Yes.
And you can shrink or grow the number of hours they work depending on how the work flows through your business.
Hmm.
There is a risk when you hire a consultant or a contractor. You can terminate your engagement with them at any point. They can do the same to you.
Hmm.
So I always
Exactly.
say to business owners, you need to think about not just the risk to your business, but also the risk to them, right? And match that up in a way that makes sense for your organization.
Yeah. And finding talent is getting really, really expensive. And I think that is a ongoing concern uh, as we continue to move through this economy. There's higher expectations on salary. There's a lot of comparisons on like, well, I used to make this in corporate. Now I'm going to a small business and expect to make the same. And those costs of just finding the right people also keep going up because it's harder maybe to find them, or maybe people are not don't know where to look for them. So do you have any advice on how we can save some time or money when trying to find the right employee and talent for our companies?
Yeah, 100%. And it sort of relates to my first point, which is that you have to be proactive. Because
Mhm,
you're right, Carla. Attracting and recruiting top talent is time and labor intensive. And
mhm,
ultimately, that's money, right?
mhm,
And even if we're the one doing it as the business owner, it's time we're not spending in the business working with our clients, billable hours. So it does serve you to be proactive in really understanding what are the skill sets, what are
mhm,
the experience, what are the competencies. And then I would suggest that you group them together. I get employers coming to me all the time and they say, and we need someone who does this, and they do bookkeeping and they do graphic design and they are, and
a
those skills,
unicorn. That's what
they're
we call it around here.
they don't exist. Unicorns are mythical creatures and they don't exist in the talent pool either. So you have to be clear and really thoughtful about what are the skill and experience and competency groupings.
Mhm,
Then you can really think about, okay, what do I need right now?
mhm,
What's a nice to have? What makes sense for me to employ because I want that time and capacity committed to my business?
mhm,
What makes sense for me to outsource and potentially use a contractor,
mhm,
right? If you really are thoughtful about those pieces, then you can make much better decisions and you can save time. It is also important that you are asking the right questions. So you create a job description, make
mhm,
sure that it is truly reflective of what the person is going to do. Don't overestimate the job, don't oversell it, don't undersell it, because in either of those scenarios, you're not going to get the right applicants. You're wasting their time and you're wasting yours.
mhm.
Then, when you think about your recruitment plan, really ask great questions. Don't just go to the internet and Google top 10 interview questions. They're not going to be specific and relevant to the job you want them to do.
Mhm,
Ask thoughtful questions that are based on your needs, and ask behavioral questions, the tell me about a time when or the give me example of questions, because those questions are going to get you the most relevant and important answers. They're going to give you real examples of when that person has done
mhm,
that thing in the past. If they've done it in the past, they're going to be able to do it for you in the future.
mhm.
So those are really important, thoughtful things that are going to save you time and money in the end, because you're going to hire someone who's a great fit, who has the right skill and experience, and can get the job done for you.
Yeah, and in turn, saving time going through this process
Right.
diligently, taking your
Yes.
time to make a decision, and hiring the right fit will save you from having to go through this process over and over again because you keep hiring the wrong person. And I see this happen a lot with, clients or people out there who maybe haven't gone through a hiring process before and are not very knowledgeable. And so either reaching out and getting some support from someone who has done it, outsourcing it to someone who has done it, or even just educating yourself in the recruitment process to understand end to end. How do you do this well, and how do you take your time to do it well the first time so you don't have to be back again at it? So wasting your time away from your business, like you say, Lindsay, right? Like any distractions, anytime that you are not working in the business or on the business, it's gonna take away from what you can
Yeah.
accomplish on your goals financially. And again, your time is valuable as the CEO of the company. Like only you can do so, certain things. And we want to make sure that we're not taking away from that.
Well, and I would give you the example of graphic design. So, most of us that are small business owners, we can kind of get things done in Canva. We might be able to
Yeah.
come up with a social post. But the truth is, we would never go and design a website. right? We know
Exactly.
that our skill set ends at a certain level. And I would suggest to you that when it comes to things like people strategy, recruitment, any of those programs you need in your business, like performance management, compensation and bonus design, reward and recognition, there's a reason why people have deep skill and experience and certifications in those programs. And the truth is, by outsourcing some of that work to a skilled professional, they're going to get you further faster and make sure that your systems, your people systems are set up so that everybody feels successful.
Yeah, it's very similar to finance, right? When you bring the right expertise, you can
Right?
get things done quicker, you can have the foundation and a
Yeah.
solid place to build from. And again, it could just be engaging someone, temporarily to help you build this infrastructure once, and then you can use it all over again. But I
Yeah.
think, there's another aspect of hiring that still gets missed a lot, which is also a key component of successful employees onboarding and contractors even. And that is like, how do we effectively manage their onboarding process of a new employee to get them up to speed as quickly as possible, but also help them start contributing towards the bottom line. So
Yeah.
can you tell us a little bit more about those effective ways that we can manage this best?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Because you know what, Carla, that's such a great point. You can have a really fabulous recruitment process. You can interview the right people. You can look for the right competencies. You can find the right fit. But if you don't onboard that person well, if they have a truly crappy first few days and few weeks with your organization,
Mhm.
they're going to leave and you're going to, spend your time and money redoing that process all over again. So you
Yeah.
need to think about both pieces and how they work together seamlessly, all
Mhm.
the way from the first day where you post your job description, all the way through to the time when someone is really working at a high level of competency in their role. We call that speed to contribution, right? And we want that to be as quick as
I
possible.
love
It just
that.
makes sense, right? So when you're thinking about a great onboarding process, you do want to break it down and be pretty granular with it. What do you need them to do on day one? How do you help them have a really warm welcome? So when we were in person in our office spaces, we could take them out for lunch, we could walk them around, we could set them up
Mhm.
at their desk. That looks different if you have a remote or a hybrid working
Mhm.
environment. So you want to think very carefully about how you bring them into your business right from day one, right from that very first hour. How do you get them connected with the people that they need to know, right? And doing that over a period of days so they're not overwhelmed. You don't want to
Yeah.
introduce the 20 people all at once. They'll never remember their names.
Yeah.
So being thoughtful from and having a human-centered design aspect to it. What would you want on your first day?
Mhm.
What were some of your best experiences when you started with a new organization? What were some of the worst? Right? So
We
I
can learn
really
a lot from that.
right? Think about it from a human-centered perspective. And then I like to talk to my clients and create a plan that really breaks down the first 5 days, day one through
Mhm.
five. What do we want that to look like?
Mhm.
Culminating in, let's say, for example, a Friday afternoon at 3 o'clock. Everybody jumps online and we have a little celebration. Yay, you made it through your first week with us.
Mhm.
What went well for you? What was tricky? What could we do differently next week to make this go better for you?
Mhm.
Really embracing those opportunities. And then we start to work week by week. And how do we also build in regular checkpoints with you if you're the leader in your business and they're reporting directly to you, or who is leading them?
Mhm.
Potentially, you want to set them up with a partner, someone that can be their go to person those first few weeks in the business. Maybe that person has responsibilities to make sure that the things that are in your onboarding program are getting done. So if there's
Mhm.
compliance pieces, maybe there's tax documents they need to fill out. Maybe you are in a factory and you have some OH&S pieces they really have to do. Maybe you have a very robust IT security program and you need to make sure they work their way through that, whatever those compliance pieces are. And then again, ensuring that they have a regular checkpoint at the beginning, every day, morning and afternoon. Into that second and third week, maybe it's only once a day, but you build out that program so you really can give them a clear vision of what it's going to look like over those first weeks and months. And then doing regular feedback sessions,
Mhm.
right? asking them for feedback so you can improve your process, and also giving them great feedback. Here's what's going really well. Here's what looks like it's tricky or something that maybe didn't go right in the organization and how they can fix it. Making sure they get that open connection and communication with them all the way through that onboarding process.
Yeah, thank you for outlining that because I think setting great expectations up front will set up the employee for success, but also your company to get quick on that speed to contribution you
Yeah.
mentioned, right, Lindsay, which I love because that is essentially why we're bringing on more people is to essentially impact the bottom line and help us build more capacity or be able to support more clients or
Yeah.
have, more, touch points with the people we work with and feel like we have someone also to delegate things to successfully. And all of this is dependent upon someone getting up to speed quickly and doing a good job by having clear expectations and also supporting them along the way because at the beginning it's a little rough and then once they get their footing in they'll be able to run with things. So this has been so insightful for you to share with us. Thank you so much for all the tips and tricks that you share with us, the strategic setting, like the forward planning. I'm pretty sure people are going to have a lot of questions to follow up with you. And I want to know where they can find you if they want to work with you in any of this capacity of the support that you can provide them.
Yeah, I'd love that. I'm always open to answering questions. You can find me on my website, which is highvoltageleadership.ca. And there's an opportunity to message me directly from there. Happy to answer any recruitment or onboarding questions or any people operations questions that you have. You can find me on Instagram at High Volt Leadership. I'm on Facebook as well. And I love to hang out on LinkedIn. So you can look up Lindsay White on LinkedIn and come and connect with me there as well.
That's awesome. And if you're looking for a fractional CFO for your company and you're ready to outsource your finances and you're a little tired, need a little direction and some help and support, we're here and available on our website at wealthworthwithin.com. We're currently taking on clients through the end of the year. So if you're interested, fill out our intake form or set up a free discovery call for us to chat about your needs and how we can support you. You can find us all over social media at Wealth Worth Within. And we put up a lot of educational and free content for you to enjoy. We're now on YouTube and TikTok as well. So follow us there for more advice and fun videos and conversations like this that bring you all the resources you need to have a successful, profitable business. Thank you, Lindsay, for being here today and share all your knowledge.
Yeah, it's my pleasure. Thanks for having me, Carla.